Welcome in the ring to each and every one of you this Friday evening. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Share the damn live. Smash that emoji button, good folks. And down the road we go. Happy to have all of you here this Friday evening. It's Friday 26th day, if I remember, 27th day of June already. Yep. We got a big day coming up in 3 days, folks. Big day, the 27th day of June. Tomorrow is Ricky Dionarayan Ramsarup's birthday. MP Ricky Ramsarup is on the 28th. And then I follow shortly after that on the 30th. Good to have all of you on the live tonight. But that aside, happy that you all are here with us this Friday night, folks. 500 of you and counting. Folks, it's a privilege to have all of you here with us. It's a privilege. It's a privilege, and I want to pull it back one time for all of you. Pace and power, folks. Pace and power. Let me say a big congrats as we begin to all of those young people who I saw out today by Stamrock Market. Yep. The APNU coalition youths were out in their numbers today, making the argument, this is retail politics, you know. We got to come off social media. That's why I say clean off your boots. You got some young people who want to volunteer, folks. Folks, let us know. We got room for them. They want to volunteer. We got some fantastic, bright, energetic young people. They got the stamina the way we used to. And so good to see them out today. As I said, making the rounds, making the arguments. Ring the bell one time for all of them, folks. I was so impressed. I was so moved to see them out in their numbers. Pace, pull it back, pace and power. Ring it one more time. I want to ring it plenty times right here. How y'all doing now, folks? How y'all doing? Welcome in the ring to each and every one of you. Welcome. Happy to make your acquaintance. Happy that you folks could be with us. Another night, folks. Out front. Yep, the thick of things. Happy to have all of you. Let's begin tonight with the opener, folks. With the opener. Camarade Ramjaton of the Alliance for Change. He was making some arguments today on Gaisuko. You know, we've been talking about Gaisuko and the fact that these folks, they've been trying to sell us pick and bag. First of all, they were going to make Gaisuko great again. You all understand? You all understand? They were going to make Gaisuko great again. And now they're planting cassava, they're doing hemp, they're doing dashin, potato, everything but sugar that they promised to make great again. Now, there is no shadow of turning with the APNU coalition because we started a rate size, the industry, as you folks might know all too well, and we've stuck by that. We're going to retrain and retool our sugar workers for a new age, for a new reality. That is the sugar industry, but not these boys. So we heard Kemraj wailing into them today, methodically walking through where the industry is. The opener, folks, take a look. Take a listen. The opener tonight, the opener. This is where we begin. Take a look, folks, and take a listen.
PPP wants to spend a massive set of money, and probably for electoral purposes too, on a sector that has gone down the drain in the most, what you can call, the worst of its history. And wanting to spend and run the country down just to keep Gaisuku going. We have made very many statements on this sugar industry. We have done so whilst being in government, APNU AFC, in 2016. We had gotten a commission's report out. We had gotten a green paper. We had also gotten an expert, Errol Hanneman, who had taken over Gaisuko and had indicated the huge problems that it was suffering. And he had made it quite clear that right sizing was the way to go forward with that sugar industry so that at some point in time we can make it profitable. Namely, merging of estates, but also the what you call phasing away of certain factories, and we had identified those. Because what was needed was good support for the factories that could have made it with the estates having the sugar supplying them, so that at least the sector could be in survival mode. We spent over $42 billion during a 5-year period, and it would appear that the government is going to spend even more than that in this sector, because of course we had decided that monies spent there is literally going down a black hole. I want to indicate that, as we have said before, there are reasons why this industry was run down. And it was long before the APNU AFC came into government that caused this. Monies from EU, European Union, over 100 million US dollars were never directed to rehabilitate factories and to do back construction work and drainage and irrigation in these estates. A younger generation do not want to get into that industry. The nature of the job, its back-breaking character, is what is keeping especially the youths from Albion and Portmorant and Wales and wheresoever else, IFLUT, they have all literally abandoned. And the mechanization on those soil types and the terrain there in some of these estates will make it almost impossible. Rains fall, get soggy in that clay, and so it is very, very difficult. Then the capital investment needed for what is called for all the deteriorating structures that are there will be too massive. But most of all would be the price in the world market for sugar. We will continually, even with all, if we solve the problem of capital investment, we'll still have a price in the world market that will be lower than our cost of production. And to that extent, it is quite clear that the country will not have a good future with sugar. We had indicated too that changing CEOs cannot fix the sugar problem. That was, I think, the last statement I made. Because, of course, these CEOs that they take are just political loyalists. Take, for example, Seth Narayan Singh. He did so badly in it, but he got promotions and he went to Brussels as our chief ambassador there. And then they brought in a political loyalist, Paul Chung, and he now has humongous problems dealing with this sugar industry, and I understand is asking them, what trouble will you put me inside? And all, of course, because of some of the worst investments, one being since probably the worst since probably independence, the Skeldon Sugar Factory. So now to hear that they have massive ambitious plans for the sugar sector is nothing but political gimmicks in an electoral silly season to fool and do the poppycock and propaganda, whatever they want to tell their support base in the sugar estates. It's all poppycock, it's all hollow propaganda. And so I am urging that there seems, unless of course there is continuously the right sizing and spending of the monies into those factories that could work, let be started, this sugar industry would not have a future. And I am urging the support base of the PPP to understand that the PPP is only out here to deceive and fool you in relation to whatever they're now calling an ambitious plan to revitalize Gaisuko. Don't be fooled. It's election time. We all know it's silly season, but simply don't be deceived.
Yeah, don't be deceived, folks. It's poppycock. It's all poppycock. Do not be deceived. Share the damn live. Smash that emoji button if you're now joining us. Folks, that was your put up. You got some time to catch up. That was, again, laying it out step by step by step. You know, everything you want is song bite now, 30 seconds and go. You see, quickie generation, you better stop it. You better stop it. Y'all not big people. We got to stick together, please, and thank you. We got to stick together. So the Lines for Change press conference was today. And again, they walk through several of these issues, folks, several of these major issues. And, you know, again, Kemraj, they're just taking us through the sugar industry, the false promises, the fakery, the poppycockishness of this PPP. What do we have to show for all of these billions that we've spent over the last 5 years? 40, 50, 60, 70 billion dollars in the sugar industry. Not much to show, folks. Not much to show. Gotta watch them. You know, they probably spend 10 billion and they thief out the rest. Knowing the people we gotta deal with. Share the damn life for us. Smash that emoji button, good folks. And let me go down the road. Go down the road. I told you, folks. Then I tell you, tis the season, and for many reasons, I have to be keeping, you know, my poker face. And y'all know, as a man, I like talk. I like to talk, so it is hard sometimes. I gotta assimilate all that I know. You know, to be true, you see people jumping left, right, and center, catching on banter. Because some people can't wait, you know. There's a microwave generation, they can't wait. I have had my task was to know what I know. And to just hold it. Folks, the 2025 general and regional elections are upon us. They are upon us. Look, you've seen some things, I'm certain. Shake you a little bit. You got some more to come. The good and a little bit more bad. You know, but mostly good. I can assure you all that. Folks, strap yourselves in. Clean off your boots. Boots on the ground again if you're now joining us. I'm so heartened to see those young people out today, and they're fanned out all over the country. Spotted is set by the Saybrook Market area, making the rounds. You know, this is how elections are won. Elections are about numbers. And not numbers in your head. Numbers in reality. Numbers on the ground. Door to door. Street to street. Village to village. Tongue to tongue. This is how you got to do it. I'm so heartened to see our young people, you know. So heartened to see them out there putting in that hard work. You got some young people. You yourself, you got some time. Don't let this election to chance and nobody else. We got space for you. Sign you the hell up right now. What's your name and number? Bap. Sign you all up right now. You know, as I said, tis the season. And like in the newspaper business, I used to love being in the newspaper business. To know what's going to be in tomorrow's papers. You know, to go back in the office around 5, stay till around 1, 2 o'clock in the morning, as they say in the industry, to put the papers to bed. Know what's going to be on the front page, the second page, the last page. You know, when you wake up now, you see it there. To know something and learn. Folks, that's politics for you. Number of things we're following, folks. A number of things we're following. And today, it's not one of those things I had to keep a straight face about for a little while now. Boom, shakalak. Ring the bell one time for Turnit Law, Ronald Daniels. Now, here's a young man who I say, Ronald, don't even take me. I offer Ronald Daniels up. I volunteer him to be a role model for our young people. Ronald is bright. You know, not only legally bright, street smart bright, generationally bright. And he made a decision. He side with y'all. He side with y'all. Wrong song there. Wrong song effect. He said, I with y'all. Pay some power. Boots on the ground. Love it. love it, love it, love it, love it, love it, love it. You know, again, I said, we live in a microwave generation. All you talk to your kids, talk to your neighbors, because some we big, but we just big. We get the accompanying things. Some we big, and y'all behaving giddy. Like our young people, we expect them to behave a certain way. Even some young people put y'all to shame, buy and sell y'all 3 times and get change. Can't wait, giddy, 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 giddy. Some of y'all like the prodigal son. Give me all that's my inheritance. I'm going to a far country. Give me everything that is mine. And you're gone. This didn't happen yesterday, Some of y'all consider right now. Some of the things you will see roll out didn't happen yesterday. I want to give Mr. North his props. I want that ring the bell one time for the leader of the APNU coalition, the PNCR. Let's give his props. Sometimes leadership is not just about the lights, cameras, action, but it's the quiet, methodical work that you put in. Making an investment, sometimes not for this year, but for 3 years down the line, 4 years down the line, the thing bears fruit. But if everything is on social media and you see who you're meeting with and who you're talking with and who say yes, maybe, and no, and so on, you all see a lot of people said no. But you don't see the multitude that said yes. Putting in that quiet, methodical work, that is leadership too. The quiet work that's away from the cameras, away from the limelight. If I didn't show you all the photographs of those young people by the market, today, you said nothing happening. Nothing happening because you didn't see somebody outside your front door yet. But folks, we coming to a street near you. We coming to an intersection, a village, a town near you if you haven't seen folks as yet. And if you have not, folks, if you have not, we got some numbers I can publish very soon that you can call and say, see y'all yet. What happening? What happening? So congratulations to a brother from another mother making that decision known. And he put up a post on social media. I can't capture it the way Ronald has written it. He is a lawyer, smart, and a man good with the pen. He's a man good with the pen, a man of letters, you would say. He likes to dress. I try to follow him. Smooth. He's a man of sartorial splendor. Y'all can't see him coming this program, you'll learn nothing. Is what do I mean again? The man like fine threads. You go on from there, we can say he's a man of Epicurean taste. Find the things in he's a man with the ears to the ground. He understands the pulse of the moment. And I'm so happy that he says this is not just about this election. It's not even about elections, about the future and our kids. And in that post on social media, I heard him say as well, this Adriana Young issue inspired him to get involved and to make a difference more than he's already making. So congrats again, Ronald Daniels, attorney at law. I told you the other day, if you meet some people in your life, you miss nothing. You miss nothing. Right? Meet Ronald Daniels if you have a chance. I recommend him as a role model to our young people. I recommend him highly as well. Welcome, Ronald. Looking forward to rubbing shoulders with you as we press towards the mark of the high call, as we press towards the finish line, folks. Well, you know what? I said the mark of the high calling. Let back up myself a little bit, Let back up myself a little bit. I've been saying, I respect all religions, all of them. I respect all ethnicities. If you get to know me, you can say weird. I like all genres of music. I have a deep appreciation for certain genres in particular, but I like all. I like all ethnicities of music, you know, Mongolian, Chinese, Korean. I am open in that way. I have a deep appreciation for cultures. Love it. I have a deep appreciation for religions. You know, I have a very good friend who was introducing me to the tenets of Islam, and I love the idea where people say we're all born Muslims, but some of we stray away, and so you don't convert, you revert to Islam. I think that's such a beautiful tenet in Islam. I have a profound respect for the Rastafarian culture and the thing that these guys says is their sacrament, and respect it in that light. I have a healthy respect for our Hindu brothers and sisters, our indigenous brothers and sisters, and all of the deities and the belief system. You got to be open to that. And I'm happy that we're part of a country that is like that. But you know what I found of recent? I found that Irfan Ali, you know, he's been subtly overstepping his boundaries into my faith. I love if I embrace and convert. We say we convert to Christianity. If that's where you want to convert, I respect Irfan Ali as a Muslim brother, right? But I don't hear him talking about his faith so much. You know, that I hear him stepping into the Christian tenets. And I think he's making fun of it. I don't like it, but I think he's making fun of it. I was listening to him today, you know. I saw some folks said he was a preacher the other night. He preaching. But when you start, I wouldn't tread lightly on the Hindus, on their faith. I wouldn't dare to tread on the Muslim faith lightly. That is a system of belief to which people ascribe, and they give their lives and live their lives through that. And I want to say to Irfan Ali, be careful. Be careful. As I said, I was listening to him today, and all right, you know, be careful. Just be careful. I have flagged it a number of times. I don't hear him talk about anything else. And I think there's some politicking there. There is some politicking there. Let us keep the politics separate. I think that's what the Constitution said, there's a separation. Let us keep up. Take a look, folks. And take a listen. They were opening a center today. A center. I wonder if everybody there, you know, were in agreement. Right? I was in agreement with some of it. And I'll tell you why at the other side of it. Take a look and take a listen.
First of all, Philippians 4:13 tells us, I can do all things through him who strengthened me. And all of what we have achieved together as government and people is because we know that with God on our side, we can do all things because it is he who strengthens us. And if we are to look into the future, Jeremiah 29:11 tells us, for I know the plans I have for you, declared the Lord, plans to prosper you and not to harm you, plans to give hope and a future that is good. Now, we're instructed here about plans not to harm you. And I want you to think carefully about our environment today. and those who would want to lead. And listen to Jeremiah 29:11. Would the plans or those persons harm our national interests? Will it harm our relationship with other countries? Will it harm our judicial system? Will it harm our natural resources?
Yep.
Don't take it.
Folks, that's an industrial training, a TVET training center they're opening. That is not a church service. It's not a religious event. It's a TVET. You know, people go there to hear about, you know, their future in terms of what they're going to learn, the skill they're going to learn, and they treat it now to a sermon. You know, I forgot for a second there that Irfan is Muslim. Now, I don't take that lightly. To the extent, I'll tell you what got me. As soon as he started, the person of Jesus Christ is central to the Christian faith. His birth, his death, and his resurrection. There are many lords in all the faiths, but there's only one Jesus. There are many gods in all the faiths, but there's only one Jehovah that we know as Christian. And when I heard him replace the name Jesus with him, that was the cue for me that this is politics. A Christian knows these scriptures by heart. We know them by heart. We don't have to look down and read on a paper what it is. If you're in the faith, just as I would expect, you know, our Hindu brothers and sisters, our Muslim brothers and sisters, you know the holy books. You know, in your time of need, they come back to you full blown like the wind. And so when I hear some of this, you know, listen to how he starts.
So my friends, first of all, Philippians 4:13 tells us, I can do all things through him who strengthened me.
No, the correct version is I can do all things through Christ. That is what it says. That's what the Holy Book says. There's no him. Who's the him? But you see, you have to skip that because you don't believe that. Right? I take an affront to that. I take an affront. Let me do with politics. Let me do with politics. But let me left religion out of it. I beg of you. That's not church service, you know. That's young people doing TVET training. Being preached to. Because you want to make a point about Azruddin Muhammad. Right? You want to make it, don't risk it all. You know, don't let me risk where we are internationally, in the international community. Don't let's risk. That's what he's getting at. And he goes on for about 10, 15 minutes. I take an affront to that. I'm sorry. I would not wade in to the Hindu faith. I wouldn't wade into the Muslim faith to make a point on some political opponent. Folks, let us be very careful, you know. And the same people who quote in scriptures would not speak to the supporters about confronting people in a very hostile manner when they visit their communities. The Christian faith don't believe in that. Love your neighbors as yourself. Don't let me forget that. Don't let us forget that. He said, don't let the speck in your own eye, but you look at the log in your brother eye. He said, don't let me only take a part. We got to take the whole thing. We got to take the whole thing. I just want to put on record, I take offense to that. If people could worry about a leopard or a jaguar being used on somebody's political, whatever it is, I can take offense of that. Allow me. Give me easy time. If a leopard or a jaguar incenses you, I'm incensed by that. If you've been watching us, I've been flagging this religious Christian religion rhetoric from Irfan and him making light of a faith that offers guidance to thousands of people around the world. I take offense of it. I take offense of it. I put on the marker now. Let me left religion one side and let me do with politics. Let us do our politics. Because Irfan, him coming with clean hands, is he and the same man he talking about when the WhatsApp messages pay for play? Please, let our religious leaders guide us. And let me stay with what we know, the politics. Please and thank you. Let our religious leaders guide us religiously. And let me leave the rest. Leave it to them. Politics, preach. How much ever you want in that sphere. I take offense. Right? I take offense of that. I've been hearing it repeatedly. There's a political play. And I don't want nobody making light of my faith and that of thousands of people in this country, millions around the world. Right? I know if that were done to the Muslims, they would not take light to it. You would have the CIOG writing you letters to the press. And now you know if that was the Hindu faith, you'd have the Dharmic Sabha making a noise about that. I am flagging that. Let us do our politics separately. And let us leave our religious instruction and guidance to those people who are suitably qualified. Please and thank you. I'm just putting that on record. I am just putting that on record. I love that we all could embrace different faiths. But you got a line. When you're using it now for a specific purpose and a specific aim, right? I just flagging that. That being said, folks, that being said, the happy note was Ronald Daniel saying yes to the movement, saying yes to it. And you know, there's a press conference today from the National Congress and APNU coalition more broadly, speaking to this whole issue of more people coming on board. More and more people coming on board, recognizing what is happening, recognizing the trajectory, the change trajectory that's occurring in our country, and saying yes, listening to the policies, not just about excitement, but taking time to listen to the policies that are on offer and saying, yes, I will subscribe here, right? Yes, I will sign up here. I want to be a part of it. Take a look and take a listen to what Mr. Norton said during the press conference for the APNU coalition today.
Leader of the People's National Congress Reform, Aubrey Norton, says that he is buoyed by the reaction of the people on the ground. He has been campaigning across the country in recent months.
We have been engaging. We have engaged a lot of persons who are helping us behind the scenes. The big problem you have with a lot of people who want to help you is that the PPP instill fear, and many of them are afraid of the People's Progressive Party. But the impression we gain is that they will do the right thing on the day, and we gain the impression that some of them will stay home.
But he said that even when they stay at home, they feel pressured to vote. He said that the PPP has the tendency to set up tents in the vicinity of polling stations.
We went to Parika, and in the engagement, many Indo-Guyanese made it very clear that they were not going to support the PPP and that they were expressing support for us. But there is always this thing where the PPP is so brutal, the PPP is so vindictive that many of them are afraid to come out in the open.
And the PNCR has entered into a coalition with a number of smaller parties. Many of them have their own interests.
Kingdom Liberation Movement, which are representatives from various churches. They have been working on the ground in various communities. They have been engaging us for more than a year now, and we finally agreed we will work with them. We also have Movement for Improvement, which has some amount of influence on the East Coast. That is led by, I think, Sheikh Yassin.
There is also a group that wants to see the legalization of marijuana.
There are those online who are trying to suggest that their inclusion is aimed at legalizing marijuana. That's an issue that is long going in Guyana and will have to be addressed. But I can say this to you. We engaged them, one, because they are very influential in the Rastafarian community.
He said that APNU is working as a group.
I want to ring the bell another time for Mr. Norton. I'm telling you, that kind of work takes time. It takes time to meet with those groups individually. You're talking back and forth, trying to find common ground. That's not microwave stuff. That is not microwave stuff. And I want to give the credit. I want to give the credit. Now, that didn't happen yesterday. That didn't happen yesterday. But in politics, you got to hold. Some of you want to play the cards one time, sir. Right? You're showing your whole hand, sir. You're showing your whole hand. Hold. I say hold. You run out too early. Boom. Political enemy gone with you. Eat you for dinner and spit you out. You got to hold. Hold a little bit, folks. Hold. Hold. You know, I don't know if it's because of these policies that are being rolled out. I'm strong on that. I'm at the age, I'm not much for the excitement. I like to do the reading. What's on offer? And so listening to the policies, watching the policies, knowing what's to come, the policies being rolled out. I'm excited by that. What is the policy on health, education, agriculture, security, international relations? That's what interests me, because I know, when we're long gone, is that book, in the beginning, yeah, the word is that policy can guide. Long after we're gone, the next generation can come and see what you've done and build on that. That's what this thing is about. And so I don't know. I heard the Alliance for Change make a little swing today. I was a little surprised, I could tell you that. Ties becoming done. I was a little surprised to hear the question was asked if they're willing, and they said yes. That if and when Mr. Norton takes office September 1, 2025, if there's an offer for members of the Alliance for Change to serve in the government, my former lovers says they ain't got no problem. I mean, soon as you blink in politics, you miss 10 years. Soon as you blink, you miss 10 years. What? Alliance for Change said they're willing. Don't take it from me, good folks. Don't take it from me.
The AFC has always, before me, and I suspect after me, been committed to the development of Guyana and making sure it has its best citizens available to assist in that process. If, as a matter of eventuality, Mr. Norton becomes the president and he is of the view whether individually or the Alliance for Change as a party could participate in a government post-elections, the Alliance for Change is certainly going to consider that. And we certainly would not stand in the way of any member if invited by Mr. Norton to be part of his government. We are a liberal democratic party.
You heard the same things I heard. That's me. I am celebrating a birthday, couple days. So, and I doubt everything. I asked for confirmation. You know, you see this, you see that? You hear that? Folks, it's the Lord's doing, and it is marvelous in our eyes. It is the Lord's doing, and it is marvelous, folks. It is marvelous. Yeah. Marvelous in our eyes. Oh, yeah, making sense? Carolyn, Mitz and Sherwin, we making sense? Lily and Boss Lady and Lester and Mandy and all the other folks joining us. We making sense? That's what I want to know. We making sense? Please and thank you, folks. Yeah. That's music to my ear. Music to my ear. Chanel Smith. Chanel say, yes, Father. Come bless me now, my Savior. Oh, yes. Yes. Mr. Norton for the win, boy. You know, as I've been saying, these policy issues, they pique my interest. Irwin Dunn, Gladys, they pique my interest. So we got to build a country, and it's not just on fervor and all these other things, excitement. That has its place. You know, I like something that's popping like anybody else. You know, even though sometimes the hurt, too much popping for the popping too much. But listen, some of these things we can't give you all in song bites. You got to sit through, you got to analyze, you got to assimilate, you know, ruminate on it, you think upon it, bounce it around in your head. Some people call you the one answer no. Is yes, is no? No, hold on. I ain't make up my mind yet. You know, these policy issues and sound bites, you got to immerse yourself in it. Think, cogitate, ideate on it, please and thank you. And several policy initiatives, ideas were rolled out, laid out today concerning the agri-sector, concerning food security in this country. When the land of plenty, yet people are hungry. We belly full, but we hungry. You know, full of hope and aspiration. You know, but really and truly, the physical. You know, listen to Mr. Norton articulating some of these issues in the agri sector just today. You know, take a look and take a listen. Some of the ideas put forward. How are we going to revitalize? How are we going to refashion, restructure some of this stuff, folks? Take a look, take a listen.
APNU Coalition's Agriculture Sector and Food Security Plan will ensure Guyanese have enough to eat and to export. Despite a small population and an abundance of fertile land, Guyana is still unable to produce enough food to feed itself. We are a net importer of food, with a food import bill that keeps climbing, meaning that the Grand PPP plan to cut food imports by 25% by 2025 has failed. Our agriculture sector continues to underachieve. National food self-sufficiency is a fading dream. The exorbitant cost of food restricts most Guyanese to one meal a day and to low nutrition diets. The PPP has been in office for 28 of the last 33 years. Even with 4 oil budgets, they have failed in agriculture where it matters most. 1, reducing food poverty and food inflation. 2, increasing the quality, variety, and availability of food. And 3, feeding the nations. They have failed in every area. The APNU coalition, as the next government, will reverse this situation and rescue agriculture in Guyana. In our strategic plan, food production and food security are 2 of our national priorities. We will make food affordable and available for every Guyanese family. We will ensure national food security at the household and national levels. We will make the agro sector one of the main driving forces in our non-oil economy. We will make farming a lucrative business for current farmers, youths, large investors, and others. We will make every region self-sustainable in agriculture. To achieve these and other goals, the APNU coalition government will focus its attention on over 20 key strategic goals, such as 1. Expand, upgrade, and make the drainage and irrigation system more effective to address infrastructure gaps, water needs of farmers, flood control, unpredictable weather patterns, and the challenges of climate change. One recent FAO study of local farmers found drainage to be the largest inhibiting factor in farming in Guyana. It is in this context, therefore, we will establish a special Ministry of Drainage and Irrigation to address this question. 2, we will make more agricultural lands available of adequate size, location, access, and with good supporting infrastructure. We will modernize and streamline the land tenure and ownership system to increase security of title, ensure easy access to bank credit, and to simplify sales, rentals, and bequeathing of land. 4, expand, upgrade, and support transportation and infrastructure, such as access roads, farm-to-market roads, cargo ferries, dams, wharves, and ports, bridges, and airstrips. 5, increase access to affordable farm credit through the creation of a state-owned development and investment bank and an expanded small business facility to farmers of all sizes. 6, prioritize the building of a fertilizer plant using our natural gas resources and make fertilizer cheaply available countrywide. 7, promote crop diversification based on our comparative advantages, market assessments, and ease of adaptation, and incentivize the cultivation of more nutritious crops, such as fruits, beans, and vegetables, to help promote health and nutrition security.
Yep, and that went on and on and on and on. Just policy after policy, apologies there. Policy after policy after policy, just
to
being
spend
rolled out.
a massive set
Policy
of
after
money.
Cameron is so determined. I don't know what was happening, you know. Policy after policy being rolled out today. Again, for the agri sector, for the food security, and other areas as well. And you know, I wanna challenge you guys. I'll be doing more of this, delving into the policy, because lots of you on this soundbite, and then you say, "Oh, we don't know what's happening. We don't know what's going on." But press conference after press conference, program after program, these things are being rolled out. So I am alerting you. Policy initiatives being rolled out there. That being said, folks, I want you all to lock in, listen carefully, analyze what is happening, folks. I know y'all gonna make the right choice. September 1, APNU coalition all the way. And just in case you're now joining us as we wrap up here and you missed the show when we started with Guy Suko. We started with what's happening in the sugar industry. And Mr. Norton did talk about the FAO and what has happened with the 25 by 25 plan with the PPP. They want to bring down the help bring down the import bill for the Caribbean region, the import bill for our country by boosting production locally. But the thing has been obliterated. Starbuck News, in their own deliberate judgment, reached out to the government quite recently and asking them for the numbers. The numbers, what are the stats? What have you guys been able to do? Lo and behold, the folks said they don't have any numbers. They can't find the numbers. How the policies you implement, how are they able to effect that big target you had? Bring down the food import bill by 25% by 2025. 3-4 years ago, they initiated that. And they can't come and speak to it now, but they're rolling out other things. Hemp and cassava, they want to use the sugar cane lands for now, Gaisuko lands for, they want to do Edo and Dashin and pumpkin and so on. And they ridiculed the last government for diversifying, for right-sizing the sugar industry. And these same people thief the idea and coming back with it, like the thief the train/tramp idea. Same people that thieve the school children transportation grant. Same people. They got an original idea in the head. And as I said, just in case you missed a debate on sugar when we started, Camraj wailed into the government today and the destruction of the sugar industry. Never mind, they poured $70 billion in the sugar industry. You see, never mind that. What did they have to show? We don't produce a pound of sugar at profitability in this country. The closer, folks, the closer. Camraj Ramjatan from the Lines for Change, telling them like it is. What a waste and disgrace they've been to this country. Waste and disgrace all around. Pace and power. Take a look. The closer.
Co-founder of the Alliance to Change, Kamraj Ramjatan, says that from all appearances, the ruling PPP wants to spend an enormous sum of money on sugar.
And wanting to spend and run the country down just to keep Gaisuku going. We have made very many statements on this sugar industry. We have done so whilst being in government, APNU AFC, in 2016. We had gotten a commission's report out. We had gotten a green paper. We had also gotten an expert, Errol Hanneman, who had taken over Gaisuko and had indicated the huge problems.
He said that Hanneman had recommended right-sizing the industry. By right-sizing the industry, it could have been made profitable, according to Hanneman.
As what was needed was good support for the factories that could have made it, with the estates having the sugar supplying them, so that at least this sector could be in survival mode. We spent over $42 billion during a 5-year period, and it would appear that the government is going to spend even more than that in this sector.
Ramjatan said that there were reasons why the sugar industry was run down. He said that this was long before the coalition came into government.
Monies from EU, European Union, over $100 million were never directed to rehabilitate factories and to do back construction work and drainage and irrigation in these estates. A younger generation do not want to get into that industry. The nature of the job, its back-breaking character, is what is keeping especially the youths from Albion and Portmorant and Wales and wheresoever else, Iflop, they have all literally abandoned.
He said that it was found that the soil types on those estates would have made mechanization almost impossible. In addition, the capital investment needed to upkeep the dilapidated structures was too massive, Ramjatan said. The price on the world market wasn't encouraging, he added.
We will continually, even with all, if we solve the problem of capital investment, we'll still have a price in the world market that will be lower than our cost of production. And to that extent, it is quite clear that the country will not have a good future with sugar. We had indicated, too, that changing CEOs cannot fix the sugar problem.
He described the more recent chief executive officers of the sugar industry as political loyalists.
Take, for example, Sis Narayan Singh. He did so badly in it, but he got promotions and he went to Brussels as our chief ambassador there.
That's going to do it for us tonight, folks. Thanks for joining our broadcast. That's our time and that's our program. Thanks for being also with us here all week long. Please and thanks. That means the world to us. Thanks for being here with us. Thank you so much, folks. That's our time for this evening, and that's our program. Stay safe. Have a fantastic weekend. Mandy and I see my Lord, the folks I wait for come off here. Look story here now. Jesus of mercy. Folks, have a fantastic rest of the evening. The phone is going. The anticipating that I'm going to be offline. Karen and all the other folks, Mandy, Beatrice, Jacqueline. Hey, y'all stop it, man. Beatrice, Beverly, Karen, Joy, and all the other folks. Have a fantastic weekend, and we can see you guys back next week. Stay safe. Stay safe. Thanks for being here with us.
We ready, time to remove the
Guyana, this is it, the launch of the APNU Coalition campaign on Sunday, July 6th on the Square of the Revolution from 4 p.m. Come meet our candidates. Come out and hear about our people-centered development strategy that puts people first. Come hear from our Prime Ministerial candidate, Jurita Fernandez, our presidential candidate, Aubrey C. Norton, and others. On Sunday, July 6th from 4 p.m., the Square of the Revolution will vibrate with a people-powered campaign. APNU, putting people first.
We ready, time to remove the curse. I'm feeling